Hey, mate.
How important was your opening spell in terms of getting a foothold in the match, and how do you guys feel about where things have got to?
Yeah, I think it's probably pretty even at the moment. I think it's probably a pretty good day at Test cricket, really. I think the disruptions probably didn't help some of probably the momentum we were trying to, we're trying to get, and that we had at periods of time. And yeah, I think it was just a good day of Test cricket, really. I think they played really well. They put away the bad balls when they were there, and they were really patient outside off. And we just, our plan was just to kind of stick around there, and credit to them, they played pretty well. But I think we were able to, I guess, keep things, relatively restricted, and grab 3 important wickets as well.
Thank you.
Hello, Kyle. Well bowled today. 14 overs for 14 runs. Have you ever had figures like that before?
Thank you. I'm not too sure, really. It's not probably something I keep too much of a track of. But yeah, look, I think it's obviously pretty crucial to try and keep the ball in reasonable areas for a long period. And yeah, I mean, I guess those runs are there. But yeah, it was just good to, I guess, just sort of halt the momentum a little bit. I think how we did that as a bowling unit throughout the day after they started off pretty well was, it was pretty pleasing. It kept things in the balance very nicely.
Yeah, you say they got off to a good start. Bowling that well against a batting attack of that quality. How much does that mean to you?
Oh yeah, obviously we know they're a quality lineup from 1 to 11, and there's a reason why they've been one of the top teams in the world for a long period of time. And I think for us as a unit, it was about just trying to keep the ball in right areas for long periods, and I think we were able to do that for the most part today. And we'll certainly take a lot of confidence out of that moving into tomorrow.
Thank you.
Indian batting coach said that 250 runs would be very handy on this wicket. So what's your take on that?
I don't know. I guess everyone's entitled to their opinion around what they think is a good score and what's not. We certainly haven't spoken around a number and what that looks like. I think it's actually, I mean, whilst the ball is still doing it, but I don't think it's the worst surface either. I do think there is opportunities to score runs as a batting team, and whilst, like I said, there is still some help in terms of the ball moving around and still seaming, that I think the Indian batters have shown that if you stay patient, there are still runs to be had. So whether 250 is a good score or more or less, I guess time will tell.
Hi, I just wanted to ask how frustrating is it going on and off because of bad nights as a bowler's point of view, and do you think it kills the rhythm for a bowler?
Oh yeah, it's certainly pretty frustrating, but it's kind of the cards we're dealt, really. It's it's certainly when you bowl sort of 3 or 4 balls and you go off and then come back on for another couple and then you go off again, it's probably not how you'd like it ideally, but again, it's just sort of the cards we've been dealt. And it's the same with rain, and we've all played in games throughout our careers where we've been off for rain or off for bad light, and I think obviously the spectacle is such a special one for everyone involved, and you don't want that to be, I guess, curtailed by bad light or rain. But look, it's kind of part and parcel with what we sign up for, and hopefully we can get some good amount of play in tomorrow.
Well, Kyle, can you just tell us a little bit about how you found your personal duel with Virat Kohli today? I guess he got off the mark with a boundary, and then he spent another 120 odd balls and didn't score another. Do you hold that a bit of a badge of honour to shut him down?
I don't know if it's like personally around with whether we hold that badge of honour. I think as a unit to all their batters we were pretty good. I don't think they scored much more than two and over for most of the day, and I think that just shows that we were able to keep the ball in in challenging areas for long periods, and that's what we pride ourselves on. So, I guess certainly his numbers will point to that, but I think so do the rest of their batters, and I guess their strike rates and how they were able to score during the day. So, certainly something that we're conscious of, and what we'll try and do tomorrow, and hopefully grab a few more wickets as well.
Can I just check as well? I don't know what the chat was on the field, but were the umpires pretty insistent that you had to leave the field, or was there a chat about if you had anyone who could bowl some spin?
I'm not actually too sure. It's certainly it's some of those conversations that I don't really get included in too much, as sort of between Kane and the umpires and Virat and the umpires. So I'm sort of a long way from those calls being made. So I just kind of do what I'm told, really.
And I wanted to know if you and the New Zealand team were a bit surprised when the umpires asked for the review for the caught behind of Trent Bolt, when in fact the New Zealand team didn't really ask for the review themselves.
I'm not really sure what sort of happened there. I was down at fine leg, so I don't know. I didn't see what really happened, or didn't really hear what happened. Obviously, I saw Trent go up and just thought something had happened, and didn't see what the process was with the umpires and with Kane asking for a review or how that works. So we didn't really talk about it too much in the huddle when I was in there. But I'm not really too sure what went on. Obviously, the right decision was made in the end, and we just kind of got on with it.
Hi, Kyle. Just interested in how the openers negotiated the swinging ball. They seemed to play it really quite well, and then I suppose the seam ball, when you guys came on later, perhaps shut down a little bit. Was that something you expected? And did you change your plans accordingly, or were you always expecting that as a way you'd have to close things up?
I think that you look at their lineup, that you're always expecting those guys to play well. I think they've got pretty good records, and they've done some pretty special things around the world. So we always knew it was going to be a challenge. They certainly played well through that first hour. They put away any sort of slightly bad ball and hit it for four basically, or were able to score quite freely. Whereas probably times in the past you sort of bowl one that's maybe not quite there, and teams will leave it or not score as freely. So they certainly played pretty well through that first hour. And in terms of trying to change between swing and seam, I think that was just what all the guys were sort of just playing around with, whether we tried to wobble the ball a bit more and try and keep guys engaged, or whether we were trying to move it a little bit. So it's probably part of our arsenal around how we use that ball, but I don't think there was no sort of set plans on how we wanted to operate post that first hour or post lunch.
Yeah, hi Kyle. Considering that you did obviously cause quite a few problems, especially to Gill, did you have a conversation with him after that? Did you get a chance? Because obviously you guys have interacted in the idea. So after sort of knocking him down, what is the conversation like? Anything that you faced from the Indian players as well?
No, it wasn't really. We didn't really talk about it too much. It wasn't really a conversation topic, to be fair. I was obviously glad that he was okay and that he was able to continue on. And it's not nice seeing someone get hit and have the physios run on. So it was obviously good to see that he was okay and that he was able to continue on. And that's about it really.
Hi, my question is, do you think that, going by the way the things are, it's a little rainy and all that thing, do you think that Ajaz Patel or a spinner should have been there this side on the fine side? Does New Zealand think that a spinner should have been there in the playing level?
No, I think they'll be pretty content with the playing 11 they've selected for this game. We've only seen 60 overs of play, so I don't think there's any suggestion that there was, an error made there. I think all the guys that bowled today offered a huge amount and were able to get the ball to talk, and it's been a strength of ours for a period of time. So I wouldn't have thought that would be a conversation topic in our camp anyway.
Okay, I want to ask, what did you make of the tactics used by Shubman Gill and Rohit when they were charging down the track, they were skipping down the track, and what kind of adjustments did you and Colin make after the first 15 overs to take the Indians back, check the run rate as well?
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting one. It's not something that we probably expected a huge amount, but I guess everyone will sort of take that differently. My take on it was that if they were walking, they weren't comfortable with where I was bowling when they were on the crease. So I tried to take that as a bit of a positive that we were winning the battle in a way that the more they felt like they had to move around to try and throw us off, if we could just sort of hang in that area, that would sort of bring dividends. And I guess that showed that, they were able to move around a little bit, but we were also able to get them out as well. So it's just about trying to stay patient. I think, especially in England, with the way the ball does tend to move around throughout the innings, that you don't want to allow guys to put you off the area. That's always going to be the hardest ball to play, and if you can hang in there long enough, regardless of whether guys are moving around or moving forward or back, if you keep the ball there long enough, hopefully you'll go all right.
Thanks, Matt. Carl?
Recording stopped.